Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a drive-in cinema, also known as an outdoor movie theatre, for all of your city building needs. In this tutorial, I will include a small building at the back of the cinema, where we can purchase snacks to enjoy whilst we're watching our movie. The car park, where we can sit in our cars and actually watch the movie itself. And of course, the cinema screen and the giant stage that it sits on top of. This is the amount of space required to make the cinema, including a starting position within the grid if you choose to build it. Here are some of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Not only will we use these, but we will also need these materials as well. Begin by placing 2 spruce fence on top of each other. 1, 2. Place a spruce plank on top of that, and then place 3 spruce stairs extending right. 1, 2, 3. Place a spruce plank, and then repeat this 5 times in total. Place 3 spruce slabs. 1, 2, 3, and then a plank. So that's 1 time. 1, 2, 3 slabs. Spruce plank, that's 2 times, 1, 2, 3 slabs, and a plank, that's 3 times, 1, 2, 3 slabs, and a plank, that's 4 times, 1, 2, 3 slabs, and a plank, that's 5 times. We then want to place 3 more spruce stairs, 1, 2, 3, and then a plank, and then we can connect our plank down to the ground with spruce fence. We then want to grab spruce slabs and place a row of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slabs extending backwards from our plank with a plank on the end. We then want to repeat this pattern extending across the entire back of the build. We place 3 slabs, 1, 2, 3, followed by a plank. We will eventually end up where we first started, and then we will place spruce slabs extending forwards and connecting to the starting position, and then we simply want to fill the top of this stage in using spruce slabs. Next, we are going to connect every single spruce plank down to the ground using spruce fence. These are positioned all the way around the edge of the stage. We also want to extend each one of our staircases down to the ground. This requires 2 rows of spruce stairs, which we also want to add upside down stairs underneath of. These are on both sides of the stage. And of course, I haven't had my hat on this entire time. Why does no one ever tell me? Next, come and locate this spruce stair. Count backwards from it. 1, 2. And on top of this block, place 10 polished blackstone stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come over onto the opposite side of the stage and do the same. we find this stair, count back 1, 2, and then place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We then want to extend and connect to the opposite side. We then want to add an additional row of polished black stone wall here on the left, leaving a gap of 1 from the original row, and we want to do the same on the opposite side. We leave a gap of 1 and place a parallel row of polished black stone wall. We then connect the bottom wall together. We then leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, place another wall, 1, 2, place another wall, and then we will naturally have a gap of 2 at the top. We do the exact same thing on the opposite side. We connect the bottom pair together, leave a gap of 2, wall, gap of 2, wall, just like this. Now, we want to place, in the gaps of 2, note blocks. So these note blocks want to kind of just suspend in the middle of the empty space, like this, and it's far easier to place a block and then place the note blocks. You can't place note blocks in thin air unless you're crouching. So like this, and then we can remove these white concretes that we used to facilitate placing the blocks. Then we are going to create the exact same polished black stone wall framework here, 1 row away, that we have on the front. So we will leave a gap of 1 from every single polished black stone wall that we have just placed, and then we will place an identical row of wall, leaving that 1 row gap. All we have to do now is connect the front and back row of wall together. There are natural connection points in between the wall on the left and right sides of these pillars. So wherever they would connect horizontally in between each other, they also want to connect front to back as well. And across the top of the build, we are going to just leave a gap of 1 for every wall that we place. So we will just place a wall extending all the way across, leave a gap, wall, and then that takes us onto this side where we will once again just connect front to back on the left and right sides of these pillars, like so. Next, we want to come all the way over to the inside middle of this left pillar, leave a gap of 1 extending right, and place a row of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black concrete powder with a black concrete on top. We want to do this on the left and all the way over here on the right as well. So we find the center of the pillar, leave a gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with a black concrete on top, which we then want to extend all the way over to the very left side here. We also want to add grindstones to the top of the screen here. So, the way that we are going to do this is rather simple. We are going to line up with where we have the fence on the stage, and we will place the grindstones in the same position as the 4 center spruce fence. So this makes a lot more sense when we look at it from this view. And then all we have to do is fill the screen in with white concrete. I did also consider pillar quartz and white concrete powder, so do feel free to experiment. Lastly, we are going to add 2 more individual speakers, but first we need to make a banner. Throw down loom, open it up, place a black banner in there with grey dye, and apply the bordure indented pattern. That is all we need to do. We then place 2 grey concrete here with the banner in front, and 2 grey concretes here with the banner in front. And this is the stage with the screen and the sound system. Next, we are going to dig 2 rows in the ground in front of the stage, connecting both sets of staircases together. We will fill all of this empty space in using stone. Next, we are going to dig a row of 1, 2, 3 on the left and right sides of our stone path that will extend all the way to the very front of the grid. That is all the way over here on the left. And of course, we want to do the exact same thing on the right as well. Next, we want to remove this grass block here and replace it with a white concrete. Place 3 yellow carpet to the right, 1, 2, 3, and then place a white concrete. And then 3 yellow carpet, 1, 2, 3, white concrete. Repeat this. Eventually, we will reach this right side. We then want to extend our white concretes backwards by 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to add a stone brick wall here at the front left side of each space with a note block on top and a tripwire hook in front. We do this for each one of the parking spaces. We then want to remove 1, 2, 3 rows in front of all of our car parking spaces. Now we are going to add another row of car parking spaces starting here. We will place a white concrete, then 3 yellow carpet, 1, 2, 3, white concrete. So on and so forth, just as we did in front of us. We then extend all of our white concrete backwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then add our speaker boxes to the left of each of our car park spaces. This is a stone brick wall, note block, and a trip wire hook in front. We then want to remove another row of 3, 1, 2, 3 grass block in front of our second row of car parking spaces. We also want to remove all of the grass inside of the individual spaces. We then want to fill all of the empty space that we have created in using grey concrete. Next, I want you to find this middle car parking space at the back of the build. This is important as we are going to follow this row of white concrete here to the grass and dig two rows into this grass and replace them with smooth stone. We will do the same thing here as well. We will follow this white concrete to the grass, remove 2 grass block, and replace that with smooth stone. We will then place black terracotta behind the smooth stone, connect them together, extend the right side to the right by 2, 1, 2, and the left side to the left by 2, 1, 2. Over here on the right of this building, we will remove 2 blocks in the ground and replace one with light grey terracotta and the other black terracotta. Place spruce doors on top of those blocks, and then continue placing 1, 2, 3, 4 black terracotta extending backwards. We then extend across the back of the build, connect forwards like this, and now we are going to remove all of the grass inside of the building. We will then place a checkered pattern of black terracotta and light grey terracotta. This is going to form the floor and it gives us a nice retro vibe. At the front of the building, we are going to place 1, 2, 3 white terracotta extending in from the right and 1, 2, 3 white terracotta extending in from the left. We then want to add another row on top of these and then add glass pane along the insides of both of these rows, with spruce trapdoors left and right of the glass pane, and then a row of white terracotta along the top of this. We then want to grab our glass block and place it above our doors, and then we are simply just going to fill the rest of these walls in using white terracotta. So this will be as high as the front. We then want to place spruce buttons on each one of the 4 corners of the building. This is only on the lower 2 white terracottas. We are then going to fill the roof in using smooth stone. Next, we are going to add a layer of spruce slabs on top of the white terracotta around the edge of the build. We will then extend the spruce slabs 1 row forwards off of the front of the build and add a polished tough wall here in this position with an observer on top of the wall facing this way. We then want to place 1, 2, 3 oak fence here, and 1, 2, 3 oak fence here. We then place string connecting to the building, and we connect the oak fence together using string as well. And we also want to place string behind these in this empty space, and we are essentially looking to place an alternating pattern of brown carpet and white carpet on top of the string / the trapdoors. So it will end up looking like this. Next, we are going to head inside of our building and we will place a 2x2 square of black terracotta in this back left corner with white terracotta extending up from it. Over here on this right side, we will place 2 black terracotta with white terracotta extending up from it. We will then place red concrete in front of this and extend the bottom row forwards. We will place a brewing stand here with a flower pot next to it, a stone button here, and a lever here. We will then place 2 light grey concrete here and 2 grey concrete here. We will then place a black terracotta here. We will then place red candles on top of the grey concrete and yellow candles on top of the light grey, with tripwire hooks in front of each. We then place yellow concrete in front of each of these blocks with a couple of glass here on the left, a lantern in the back, preferably placed on top of the glass, like so. We then place a red carpet on top of the glass here, with an item frame in front and raw beef inside of it. 2 furnaces here, one with a detector rail on top and one with an item frame on top. Over here on the left, we add a row of note blocks with cauldrons in front, and then spruce trapdoors along the back. We then place an item frame here, and also in front of the spruce trapdoors, and we also place an additional item frame here as well. On top of the cauldrons, we want to place different colours of carpet, indicating different flavours of ice cream, and then we will place matching shulker boxes inside of the item frames behind the carpet, and then on this shelf we will place a flower pot, a pointed dripstone, and in this item frame an iron shovel. And then lastly, for the inside of this build, we will place a name tag in this item frame. This leads us to the outside of the build, where we want to remove all of the grass block / the remaining part of the grid inside of our 2 rows of grey concrete. We then want to fill all of this empty space in with smooth stone. Next, we are going to add a small seating area right at the back of our build here. We will leave a gap of 1 and place 1, 2, 3 spruce stairs with spruce fence in front, another row of stairs on the opposite side with brown carpet on top, and then we are going to come to the opposite side and we are going to add some bins. We will place 1, 2, 3 green concrete here, expand forwards, oak trapdoors on top. Then we will place some dried kelp here to the right with varying green candles on top. Next, starting here, we will place a row of iron bars that extends all the way over to the right, stops here, and then we come across the road, place iron bars leading to the edge of the boundary, and then we extend back along the boundary, extend across the back of the build, all the way forwards, and then we line up with where we very first started, just like this. We then want to place 2 additional rows of iron bars on top of our row of iron bars. Next, we will add a layer of oak leaves along the inside of our fence. Then we are going to bone meal the grass along the inside of the oak leaves. Next, we are going to replace the remaining part of the grid on the front of the build with smooth stone. This is just a few rows here on the left and right side. Next, we are going to make a sign for our outdoor movie theatre by placing 2 red concrete here in this position, and then placing 11 block of iron to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, with red concrete on the end, and we just want to make the iron 2 rows high, with mangrove slabs on top of all of that. We then add glow item frames here on the left and right sides, and now we are simply just going to make some banners, making the word showing. So, in letters, we first of all, putting a fresh white banner in our loom with some black dye, we have to make the letter S. So this is the chief pattern, base, and bend. Next is H, pale dexter, pale sinister, fess. Next is O, pale dexter, pale sinister, chief, and base. Next is W. We will make the chevron pattern, put white dye in there, apply the base indented pattern, put black dye in there, pale dexter, pale sinister, and that is W. Next is I, which is the pale pattern. Next is N, pale dexter, pale sinister, bend, and lastly is G. This is the pale sinister. Put white dye in there, apply the profess pattern, black dye back in, base, pale dexter, and chief. So there we have the word showing, which we will place in front of our sign starting here, SHOWING, with polished black stone buttons to the right, and then we will use signs for the movie. So it could be the Minecraft movie, or it can be, oh no, take your pick, Sonic 15, The Revenge of Sonic. You guys get the point. The last thing that we will cover in this tutorial is how to make a car. You can't really have a drive-in movie theatre without something to drive in. So to make a car, you need your favourite colour of wool and matching carpet. You place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 wool on the ground, add another row next to it, stone buttons on each one of the 4 corners with glow item frames in front. We place glass here, wool here, and then carpet on top. You can even add it to the front and the back, and there you have a car. And with that final detail added, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our outdoor movie theatre into our city. I actually really want to keep this build in the new suburbs, and the best place that I can think to put it that really fits in is actually just slightly behind where it is already. So with a little bit of reformatting of this roundabout, this poor roundabout has moved around so many times that it's crazy. I think that this is where the outdoor cinema is going to stay. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do remember to subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to watch any more of my videos, check out the Mini City Builds playlist. And if you would like to download every single build in this city, consider becoming a channel member. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.